So first of all, let me greet you all with Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And secondly, I hope that you're all fine and doing very well. Dear students, as you know that we were done with the chapter 2, and today is the day on which I'm going to start chapter 3. Okay, this is very important chapter, small chapter but very important chapter. In addition, you will have some assignments in these in order to better understand these, the topics that I'm going to explain in these chapter 3. In this chapter 3, so it should be supported with some assignments, and inshallah you will have a clear understanding of the topics involved in these chapters. So starting with the name of Allah. Dear students, at the completion of this lecture, you will be able to know what is conditions of satisfaction. Okay, it's also known as COS. Okay, and what exactly is project overview statement? That's also known as POS. Okay, these are the abbreviations. So I'll be talking about the condition of satisfaction. Okay, and in abbreviated form like COS, and project overview statement like POS. Okay, and the third thing I'm going to talk about the different parts that we have in the project overview statement. Okay, and you will be acquainted, these students, with the format of POs, right? So let's get started with a very first topic, and that is condition of satisfaction. Okay, so condition of satisfaction actually is a statement, right? Actually, a condition, COS, okay, is all about understanding the requirements of the projects, okay, and how we can evaluate and manage customer satisfaction and customer requirements, and what are their different expectations, being as a project manager that you have to satisfy them, okay. So the condition of satisfaction starts, these students, when the client make a request for a project. Okay, these projects are always from the client. Okay, majority of the projects, it is carried out, by the request of the client. So when the client and the requester, okay, client can also be known as requester, right? A requester and provider, okay. So requester is the client and provider is actually your project manager. So when they get together and when they talk about their needs, okay, when the client make the request for a specific project, and when these two parties, the requester and the provider, they are involved in a conversation. So in this conversation, they will determine the requirements of a specific project, okay, and they will come to a mutual understanding that what exactly is the requester asking for, and what what the project manager or the provider is able to provide the customers. Okay, so developing the condition of satisfaction, it is actually derived from the from this conversation. Okay, because when you are involved with the client is telling you terms and conditions and requirements of this of these projects, and being as a project manager, you have to note down all these factors which are defined and determined by these clients or requester, okay, and these serve as a condition of satisfaction. So in the next slide, dear students, I will inshallah give you example of this as well. Okay, so how what are the different parts that are involved in the condition of satisfaction, or COS. Okay, there are four parts which, if take place, okay, so it will lead to condition of satisfaction, and these are your request, clarification, response, and agreement. Okay, so these are the four parts which forms the condition of satisfaction. In the first part, that is consist of your request. So here a request is made. Okay, a request from the client, it is made. And in the second part, the students, clarification. So both parties, the requester, right, and the provider, they are involved in the conversation, and they clarify that the terms and conditions, by which the customer, by which the client can be satisfied. Okay, so both parties try to come to a common ground, and they establish a clear understanding of their needs and wants, what exactly the clients wants, and how that request can be fulfilled by the project manager. And the third one, in the third part, here the project managers or the provider, um, he or she tries to respond, this request with a proper solution, with a proper, what we call response. Okay, and here the provider actually states what are his or her capabilities, and what are the his expertise and knowledge, and how best he can satisfy the request. Okay, so the last one, the student, that is your agreement. Okay, so the last here, the requester is reconfirming, right, from the client or from the requester, that that what are his or her needs. Okay, so here you are restating. Okay, being as a provider, you're restating. For example, you need these requirements in your projects. Okay, so it should be reconfirmed from the from the requester side. Okay, when they have when they come to a common ground, and they do not have any conflicts. Okay, so the condition of satisfaction will be fulfilled with the fourth part of the agreement. So students, I would like to give you a conversation, right? It was a bit lengthy, so I thought that I must take the help of these notes. Okay, so okay, so as I told you, these students, condition of satisfaction is the result of these mutual conversation between the requester and the provider. And when okay, so here is the conversation. I'm not sure what happened. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Please be patient. Okay, so these students, I'm not sure what has happened to screen sharing, but somehow I'm unable to share it with you guys. Okay, so if you want to better understand the condition of satisfaction, okay, you have to go to your notes, lecture notes. Okay, and you will find the information, the conversation that has taken place between the provider and the requester. It is on page 23, chapter 3. Specifically, you will find a lengthy conversation, which I was unable to adjust it here in these slides. Please go there, and if you have any sort of questions, we will talk about it, inshallah. So, dear students, let me give you a simple example of condition of satisfaction. As I told you that the customer is, he is placing a request to, to implement a project. Okay, so here the customer or the client, he comes up with the, he comes up with the factors which should be included in the project. For example, dear students, when you go to the tailor shop, okay, you want to, make clothes for yourself, okay, so you are involved with the tailor into a conversation, okay, and when this conversation take place, being as a requester, okay, so you state all your needs, and wants that you want to, you also state the feature that you want to have into your clothes. Okay, for example, you talk about pockets, you talk about bands, you talk about how lengthy, how longer should be the clothes, how fit it should be. Okay, so you are actually, when you're involved in such situation, into conversation, you're actually giving the information, you're giving the requirements to the teller. Okay, and being as a teller, okay, here the teller think he is a project manager. Okay, so he write down all your requirements, and these requirements actually provide the basis for the conditions of satisfaction. These are the elements by which by which the client or the requester will be satisfied. I've told you all these features that you want to have in your clothes. So similarly, when projects they are implemented, okay, so the requester is actually stating all its all his or her requirements that you want to have in the project. Remember example, dear students, when we were implementing ERP, enterprise resource planning, and some of the universities in eastern zone of Afghanistan. Okay, so this project was, implementation purpose was to move from the manual system to a more sophisticated and more useful computerized system. That's ERP. Okay, so being as a requester, we requested the project manager that we would like to have these features, these features into our project. Okay, and this condition of satisfaction is actually derived from this conversation. Okay, and it is written down or noted by the project managers, and this is something on the basis of which the client or the requester will be satisfied. Okay, so when we determine the requirements, and that definitely took place in into a conversation form. Okay, and when the project was implemented in 6 months, the project manager accommodated all the requirements that have been determined and defined by the requester. Okay, so simply to put it simply, condition of satisfaction, okay, it is derived from the conversation that take place between the requester and the provider, or that take place between the client and the project manager. Here, both parties, they are involved into a conversation. From one side, from the client side, he or she determines the factors that should be in the project. And being as a project manager, he or she takes into consideration all these factors, because these factors are those factors on the basis of which the customers, the client is actually, he can be satisfied. Okay, So moving on to yeah, moving on to the second topic. Okay, the second topic is about creating project overview statement. So dear students, the conditions of satisfaction does not finish there. Uh, COS is derived from conversation, okay, and the project overview statement is derived from the customer conditions of satisfaction. So they are interdependent. You cannot create project overview statement without better without understanding the condition of satisfaction. So this what exactly is the project overview statement, or POS? Okay, so POS, has a lot of names: project overview statement, charter, or vision. And in IT industry, this project overview statement, it is known as the statement of work. Okay, sorry, that is a functionality work. Okay, functionality statement. In IT industry, it's known as functionality statements. In engineering industries, these project overview statement is known as statement of work. Okay, and it varies from one industry to another industry, but still, apart from having different names, they share the same characteristics and they share the same elements that should be in these in project overview statements. Okay, so when by the time you have condition for satisfaction or condition of satisfaction, so then you will be able to write the project overview statement. In project overview statement, dear students, you clearly define that what should be done in the project, how things should be done in a project. Okay, and this when you actually prepare this statement, okay, keeping in mind the COS, okay, COS. So then the project overview statement should be approved from the top management. When it is approved from the top management, means your project will receive every possible resources that has been mentioned in these project statements, project overview statements. So to put it simply, dear students, the project overview statement is a short document, generally one page, okay, and it consists of, it clearly states that what should be done in the project and how things should be done in the project. When you are done with completing the project overview statement, it needs approval from the top management. Okay, I'll be answering your question by the time I finish this, okay? Okay, so here are some of the extra notes, okay? So this project overview statement is a template, okay? It's a template and that is used to show that what should be done, okay? It is signed by both the requester and provider, okay? When they are signed by both parties, the requester and provider, so the conflict, the misunderstanding that might take place in the projects will be reduced, will be eliminated. Okay, so let me share the elements that we have. Okay, one thing more, dear students, when you have completed the project overview statement, you are done with the scoping stage of the project management. Okay, scoping stage of the project management, you are done with that. Okay, in these slides you can see that what are the different elements that we have in the project overview statement. Okay, So this might, you might be thinking that the following things we have seen somewhere, we have studied somewhere. Yes, dear students, we have studied these, and you have a better understanding of these, elements that I'm going to talk about: the problem or opportunity, the project goals, project objectives, success criteria, assumption, risk, and obstacles. These definitely, it has the resemblance with the previous study that we have, the previous topic, which have been clear to you in form of a project scope. So project scope has these five things, in them, okay? And the same is true for the project overview statement. So project overview statement and project scoping, they're not different, okay? They are similar, but one thing should be kept in mind: the project scoping elements are, they are integral part of the project overview statement. And project overview statement, actually, it is prepared for the sake of, top management, so that you can get approval from them, and then you will be able to start the project. Okay, it's a statement, and it has to be checked by the top management. And then the project scoping, it is one of the phases of project management. Okay, so if this project overview statement is not approved, okay, it is not approved by the top level management, this simply means that the project that you have prepared, the project overview statement you have prepared, is not correct. So then you have to go back to the condition of satisfaction, okay, and you have to review everything in the project. Well, for example, you might have missed something, okay? So if you have problem in one stage, so then you can go back to the previous stage and you can rectify things over there, and then you can again come back to, the former stage or the former activity. So these are the five elements that we have in the project overview statement. So inshallah, I'll be working on how to develop the project overview statement for the projects, okay? I'm going to do one example by myself, and inshallah, I'll share this assignment with you in the portal, okay? And you have to think about a hypothetical project, right? It should not be a complex project, because this hypothetical project that you are going to be working on, first you will be able to write a project overview statement, and then in the later lessons you will be able to study work breakdown structure, okay? So the same project that you are working now, you will be implementing the same project for those concepts as well, okay? So let me share the format of overview statement with you. Dear students, I hope you can see it. Okay, it's bigger now. Okay, so first of all, this is the a simple format, okay, and it's not a complicated one. So initially you have project overview statement, then the project name, okay, project number, okay, and because project number in a lot of organization, a lot of projects they are they are completed on the basis of their sequence, okay, project 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. Then you have to write the project manager name, and here you have to you have to write something in the problem or opportunity. What is the goal of the project? What are the objectives of project? What is the success criteria, okay, for this project? And then you have to enlist what are the different assumptions, risks, obstacles. And last but not the least, you have to state the name, that who has prepared this POS, okay, the date, and approved by, it will be approved by the top level management, and you have to write the date on which it has been approved. So I'll be taking your question, dear students, and then I'll be working on how to write, project overview statement. Okay.
Much, sir. Appreciated. I have already
Welcome, Milajan.
told
Thank you very much for your feedback. Okay.
thank you.
So,
Okay.
so dear students, this is the very simple example of how to write project overview statement. Okay. So let's say the activity is that you are going to take a course in the project management. Okay. So remember the elements that we have in the project overview statement. The first one was problem and opportunity. Okay. So the problem is that your boss would like you to